Welcome back to the Crypt of Cringe, the podcast where the horror franchises go to die, then get kicked a few more times for good measure because, god damn it, some of these movies just need to be kicked when they're down. And tonight's victim is The Howling 7, New Moon Rising, a movie that asks the bold question, what if a werewolf movie took place in a western town? And completely forgot about the fucking werewolves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, before we jump into this movie, now, as you can tell, I don't have my usual partner for this. My lovely wife, the smiling octopus, Melody, she refused to watch this movie. We got 30 minutes in and she had enough. She could not finish this movie. She was like, I'm sorry, babe, this movie's too bad. I can't. And so I was on another podcast, The Real Movie Critics, that my buddy Chris, aka Josh Zodiac, hosts, along with his brother, the Psycho Nerd. And we were talking about this movie a little bit, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give you a challenge. If you can finish this movie, you can do the episode of Crypt of Cringe with me. So, ladies and gentlemen, my podcast co-host for the evening, none other than the Psycho Nerd himself.
How's it going, dude? You can't give me a challenge to watch a movie and be not accepted. It's not happening.
You know, and I didn't think you were going to make it through, man. I'm going to be 100%. It took us, when was the last episode of Crypt of Cringe? Last episode of Crypt of Cringe was maybe 3 months ago.
Something
if
like
not that. Leprechaun. And we've been trying to finish the movie and we couldn't do it. I finished it this morning. I woke up early before everybody else woke up and I put it on and I finished the movie. And holy shit, man. We've watched some bad movies, but this is probably the worst of the worst. I mean, we have some pretty bad movies coming up, but I think this one is going to take the cake and probably be the worst movie that we've done so far on Crypt of Cringe, only because it doesn't really have anything to do with what the movie's supposed to be about.
Nope. Not really.
35 minutes in, you have like 4 line dance scenes, bunch of country music, you know, and it's so 90s, man. It is so 90s.
The way they film the line dancing, I thought was terrible. It's like if the camera was facing them, you could have decent lighting. They usually had decent lighting, yeah. But if they were filming behind them, there was no light whatsoever. It's like, okay, it doesn't work that way, guys. And it was always the same robotic movements the whole time. It's like, did you guys not get into it? Maybe drink a couple of beers before you got into filming. At least that would have added a little something extra to what we were watching.
Exactly. And so the movie came out in 1995. The budget of the movie was approximately $250,000. Okay. Most of that was probably used on renting the town that they had and using footage from previous films, because about 50% of this movie, when you see werewolves, it's in previous Howling movies. So I think it goes 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I think so.
Are the main movies that they use stock footage from. Most of the actors in the film were actual locals from the Pioneer Town from Pioneer Town, California, because that's where the movie was shot. And many of them just played themselves and used their actual real names because fuck it, why try to create a character? And so by filming in a small remote town and utilizing the local establishments, the production minimized the set, construction, and travel costs, which worked, I guess you could say. I give them props. They made a movie. Yeah. Was it a good movie? No, but they made a fucking movie, you know? And it was an independent, it went direct to video production. But I couldn't find anything on specific financial records. It's not publicly documented. So, you know, since it wasn't a major studio release, but it is an ultra low budget production. And I just, like I said, it took me a while. It took me about 3 months to finish watching it because it just was horrible, man. And it starts off okay. You know, we get this weird, desert scene at the beginning where they find a skeleton that still has hair and all this other weird shit. And It looked like a skeleton from Spirit that they just decided to slap some damn, clothes on and some hair and partially buried in the sand, and we get these 3, I guess, I don't know, rural characters.
Yeah, random characters, and you
Yeah,
know what?
and then the inspector shows up. Who the fuck in the United States is called inspector?
I nobody that I'm aware of.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody. But the guy that directed the film was actually one of the actors from Part 6.
Mhm.
He's
Yep.
Australian.
Mhm.
So, I guess they didn't really do research on how to make it more, I don't know,
Americanized?
Americanized, yeah, I guess, and so it definitely shows that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So, like I said, the movie takes place in a dusty old Western tourist town. So, like, think like fake frontier vibes. It totally looks like it was filmed in like kind of like a amusement park kind of setting. There's saloon aesthetics, cowboy boots everywhere,
Mhm.
and absolutely no reason for the movie to be part of the Howling franchise at all. It's like a low budget Western reenactment village, is what essentially it takes place, where the horror accidentally wandered in and immediately felt completely out of place.
Yeah, and there's nothing horrific in any way, shape, or form about this movie. I mean, when they show the previous, flashbacks, that's the most interesting part of the movie, in my opinion, but
Mhm.
even then, it's only so interesting, and when you talk about that opening sequence with those 3 guys standing there looking at the skeleton, their line delivery of what they say pretty much sets the tone for the entire film
Yeah,
of
and
what you're in store for.
it's such a dry delivery also, you can tell that these people were not actors. It's like they pulled random people off the street and said, "Hey, come up with something. How would you react if you came across a skeleton?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah,
Jesus Christ. Holy
skeleton.
shit.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
god.
Jeez." And like I said, with the line dancing, there's so many fucking line dances and so many, like,
Multiple.
almost full country songs performed in this, that it does not feel anything like a horror movie is supposed to feel.
Nope, not even close. You know what? And I guess I inspired you to finish the movie because it took you that long because I got through it in one sitting, but I'll tell you what, it wasn't easy because I even put all the timestamps for every time I paused it. 'Cause I was curious how many after the first 3, I was like, okay, how many times am I gonna pause? Because I kept looking at the clock the whole
Yeah.
entire film. It's one of those movies where you're just like, okay, I got stuff to do and stuff to do. Come
No,
on.
and
So,
exactly, dude, because
oh,
like I said, when Mel and I sat down to watch it, we were only 30 minutes in, and I paused it, and I'm like, "What the fuck are we watching?" And there was still, like, an hour left, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It felt like we were watching it for an hour already, like,
yep. It's one of those movies where
it
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 just
it is a
mm-mm.
definite slow burn, and then when it gets to the point finally, it does not get to the point at all. It is
Nope.
one of the worst werewolf transitions ever.
It really is.
It just cuts away, and they use a lot of, like, shadows and stuff. It is nothing like especially the original Howling. The original Howling, when I saw that movie as a kid, that movie fucking scared the shit out of me. Like,
Really.
I mean, but I was young the first time I saw it, I wasn't I don't think I was even double digits yet the first time I saw that movie. And so that movie alone freaked me out. And I think I've seen the second one. The second one was decent as well. But I just remember watching the first movie, it was actually like scary werewolves, you know?
Mhm.
And this one, granted, most movies start taking a dive after the third one. With the exception of like recent films like Scream, the Scream franchise, Saw, things of that nature. Look at Terrifier 3, which we just reviewed for
Yeah.
movie critics as well, and Gore and More. Um, those movies are some of the few exceptions where the franchise is actually picking up compared to what the first original films did.
True.
And so I could see 7 or 8 Terrifier movies going on and them just getting progressively better and better and better. this just got, and I think there's 11 of these. I wanna say there's 11 Howling movies. Let me double check real quick, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure,
because that
but and this was your first time watching this, as it was mine. Um,
oh, yeah.
give me your thoughts. Just I wanna know what was going through the mind of the psycho nerd. How many times did you curse my name watching this?
Only a couple. Only a couple, but I actually had to stop halfway through it and do a little research on the whole production. Like I already knew going in about how they use people that actually lived in the town, and I was like, that explains all the unbelievably bad line delivery. I mean, there's maybe two performances in the movie where I feel like the person is actually trying a little bit,
Yeah.
only a little bit. You know what I mean? Like the line delivery is not as terrible as everybody else, but even the main character, it's like, good lord, he
Ted.
was it wrote, directed,
Yep.
edited the film. He did almost all the production stuff, and it's like it shows very
Yeah, no, and
badly.
like I said, I give them props for making a movie. I give them props for wanting to continue, his story from the previous movie. There's 8 Howling movies. I think I
Okay.
was thinking Puppet Master. I think Puppet Master has 11 films. But after this one, we did not get a sequel to this. What we got was The Howling Reborn in 2011, which I have never seen.
No, me either. This is only the second one in the franchise I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I only saw the first Howling a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Believe
Oh,
it or not,
wow. Wow.
I didn't grow up on this one. No,
Okay.
I mean, when you talk about werewolf movies, the original Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. is one of my
Mhm.
personal favorites. American Werewolf in London is a great flick. I even saw what is it? Is it called Bad Moon? I think
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
You know what? I just saw that one last year, I think, for the first time, and damn, that's one of the better werewolf films I've ever seen. This is dog shit.
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but not only is this one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen, but in the lineage and all the years that I've been watching films, this is one of the absolute worst things I've ever tried to watch in my entire life. And since I've been watching movies since I was 3 years old and I'm now in my 40s, that kind of puts it in context, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and there's not many films, I mean, even on this podcast alone, where we picked purposely horrible movies for us to review, just because everybody does podcasts where they wanna do good movies. We wanted to do the worst of the worst, and God damn it, I think we found,
Mhm.
we're hitting the nail on the head every time we do this podcast. Now, there are some here that are really bad, but they're actually good films, but this one, man, this one takes the cake. I wanna say for 2025, Crypt of Cringe, this one gets the worst of the worst award. Now, we didn't get to finish out the year with doing all the shows that we wanted to do, with Mel being pregnant and our schedules just being, unaligned. It's hard to do it, and then having to have a 2-year-old to watch as well, it makes it kinda hard for us to do the show, but we're gonna continue going in 2026, and we already have season 2 movies lined up as well. I think we even have season 3 movies lined up.
You said you had in the one of the two that I watched of your Crypto Cringe so far, you mentioned that you had stuff for like the next few years. And I was like,
So
wow, wow,
we
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so I sat down and I did try to figure out, just a list so that way it was easier on us instead of having to come up with so many things that, okay, well, what are we going to watch next week? No, I wanted to do everything in 8 episodes, seasons per se. So just because the new year is starting doesn't mean it's a new year for Cryptic Cringe season. It's going to be the same season continued.
Makes sense.
Um, our next movie is probably gonna be pretty bad as well, but we'll talk about that kinda towards the end. Um, but speaking of this movie here, so the first act, like I said, it starts off with this skeleton being found, and then, Ted, we see this, it goes into this long ass sequence of this person on a motorcycle driving across the Wild West, which
Mhm.
is clearly California. Um And it's the arrival of it is a mysterious leather-clad biker named Ted arrives in a small desert town. He takes a job at a local saloon. And so they're trying to basically make him the red herring of the movie. Is Ted
Mm.
the werewolf? Because people are going missing, somebody gets killed, they find bloody clothes in a dumpster because these 2 women are snooping around because they don't trust Ted, whatever. It's really bad. So we get to the bar, we meet, the local color, which are the real life residents playing themselves. They spend a significant amount of time line dancing, drinking, and telling just the worst possible jokes ever. They're not even on dad joke level because at least dad jokes are funny. It was just so just blah.
It was hard to hear a lot of these random jokes. It's like they went out of their way to try to make it sound like they were funny. It's like, guys, I ain't laughing. This
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
funny.
The
Even the
only thing
one
I'm laughing at is that the time that I'm wasting watching this bullshit.
I would only I'm going on record. I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again. It definitely will not be part of my collection
No,
because
no,
I,
no.
I like to have good stuff in my collection,
Yeah,
not garbage. And I'm
yeah,
sorry, but this fits the garbage
exactly.
moniker very much.
So then we get the first investigation. So we get a local priest, right? And
Right.
an inspector. He's not a detective, he's an inspector. But from the previous films, we get to see them talking about it. And so in the previous film, we get recycled footage. And they're investigating a series of gruesome killings that look like animal attacks. But what is it? It's a werewolf. It is this werewolf that we never see. The only inclination you get before the final, like, 5 minute, I want to say it was about 5 minutes with the werewolf, if that.
I
We
don't
just
even
see
think that.
we just see red. It's just think of like when the predator sees his prey in the movie Predator, how we get that really cool like heat signature. It's
Mhm.
kind of like that, but it's just all red. We don't get there's no like heat signature. It's just it's the werewolf's point of view because everything's red. I didn't know werewolves
Yeah,
saw
but
things that way.
no,
But
not me. I didn't know that either. But I'll tell you what, that whole entire sequence, the few that we got looking from the werewolf's point of view, it was filmed as if it was part of like a video game from the 90s, like something
yes.
from a Sega CD game or
Yep.
like the original Resident Evil, which I
Yes,
dare say
yes.
the original Resident Evil with all the cutscenes with the actors is significantly more fun to watch than this whole entire movie
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
because
that's
it's
classic,
bad.
though. That's classic Resident Evil. It's bad, but it's so bad that it's good. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's so
Like
over the top. You can't help but laugh at it.
yeah, yeah. And
This is
so
nothing like that.
no, 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 not at all. So then, we get Ted. Ted wanders the desert and he starts acting suspiciously, and the townspeople begin to wonder if he's the killer. Then there's another investigation montage as the priest and detective look through files. The movie shifts into like massive block footage of Howling 4, 5, and 6. And it's framed as the characters are like remembering or researching previous werewolf outbreaks, which in some movies it's cool. It works when you get that clip for like in It Welcome to Derry
Mm,
when they reveal, that this, for those of you that haven't watched it, spoiler alert,
yeah.
that that the one of the main characters, Marge, is actually Richie's mom from, the It movies. And
Oh my
so
god.
yeah, so you get to see actually Finn Wolfhard on the missing poster or whatever, and so that was a cool little nod. It was things like that, okay, cool, but this is actual footage from other movies that they wouldn't have been able to see if they were not there, and it's
Mhm.
not filmed any different, like, if they're talking about it, it's just a clip from those other movies.
Yeah,
So
that's
then
all it
it's
is.
revealed that the werewolf from the previous films has a connection to the current killings, and the mystery deepens as more bodies, mostly off screen, are found in the desert. We don't get to see any really good death scenes in this because
No, they're
everything
terrible.
happens off screen. Which with a buzz, you give me a budget of $250,000 right now, I could film an absolute masterpiece with practical effects using just limited fucking resources. $250,000. I'm not saying I could make something that would be as successful as Terrifier, but with $250,000, I'm putting out a banger, and I just don't know why they were so focused on the country music bullshit
I
in
don't
this.
either. No, I don't get
Like,
it.
it just there was no oomph to this movie at all. It was like going to the strip club and getting a lap dance from the worst stripper ever that looks like your sister. That's how bad this movie is. It was such a letdown.
Oof. Yeah. I
You
didn't
know
have
what?
any expectations.
You know what? I take that back. It's like going to the strip club and getting a lap dance from somebody that looks like your brother. Your brother.
Oh,
Zodiac.
No, I don't want that mental image. How dare you? How dare you, sir? That's not cool. That's not cool.
So then the movie moves along at a very, very slow fucking pace. The town holds a big party at the saloon. The segment features extended musical performance and more fucking line dances. Like, when I say extended musical performances, it might as well have been a fucking musical at this point.
Yeah, because they sing full songs and nothing happens during the singing. Absolutely nothing story wise. So it's like filler, guys. That's all this is fucking filler. Because you had nothing. You had nothing in this whole entire film.
It's like they found people that were aspiring country music singers and said, "Hey, we'll film this for you, and you can use it as a music video." It's going to be a very shitty music video, but we can film it for you.
You're going to be on camera.
Yeah. And so finally, we find out who the werewolf is. And guess what? It's not Ted. It's not Ted at all. Nope. He was the red herring of the whole town.
Yeah.
And it just, when you find out who the werewolf is, it's kind of like, well, that's fucking stupid. Like, are you serious? Like, this whole time, that's who the werewolf is? And I mean, there's other stuff to talk about in between, but not really, because honestly, nothing happens.
No, because I mean, in the first like 15 minutes of the movie, we have 2 random montages. And I'm like, okay, really? I mean, you're so bad as far as like the writing of scenes are concerned that you can't come up with anything interesting. I mean, and during the montages, there's one where Ted and a couple of guys behind him are sweeping up the floor, and then all of a sudden they're stomping the floor for no good reason. And then I'm assuming they were killing a spider or something. And all of a sudden they're fucking dancing, doing this after that. It's like, what are you doing?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because it was supposed to be this, I don't know, it's a montage of them doing odd jobs and stuff around the saloon. And it went to that one scene, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Hold on. I'm going to pause real quick because I'm getting a phone call. All right. Sorry about that. I got a phone call from my son, and he usually doesn't call me unless it's something important. So, but yeah, man, this movie is just so goddamn bad, man. I don't know what else to say other than fuck this movie. I'm sorry that people wasted their times. And I feel bad for anybody that's like, hey, I was in a movie you want to see. Granted, most of these people are probably dead by this time, but I've been in a bad film. I say that all the time. That I feel like that's what gives me the right to do this movie, is because I've been in a bad film. And so this is just
let me tell you, like I was saying earlier about those timestamps of how often I kept pausing. I paused, I think 12 minutes and 12 seconds in. I did again at 18:30, 23:40, 36:33. I mean, you see a pattern here.
Yeah.
Every couple of minutes, every like 10 minutes or so, I'm constantly just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm watching a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? I've seen 1 hour old school Universal movies that are infinitely more fun to watch than this. And they're much shorter runtime. And that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty damn bad. I mean, and that's because I had to constantly keep backing the film up, because there were times where things would happen. It go into the next scene. They're talking about something that just happened. I don't remember what happened because it did not have any kind of an impact. No, nothing at all.
Yeah.
So technically I watched it twice, if you want to get down to it.
There was never really any like sense of like danger either. You know, everything just felt so damn flat. But going back to when we finally see who the werewolf is, it's not Ted, it's the priest. The priest is the werewolf. Dude, it was such a convoluted twist. It's like, what? Okay, I guess. Cool. But then we see like the most extreme low budget werewolf transformation, unlike the elaborate practical effects that the original Howling had. This is super brief and it's mostly shadows and quick cuts. We don't get any of that cool transformation that we saw in the original film.
Nope.
And
nothing.
Then there's the showdown. The showdown between Ted, who's this werewolf hunter. I guess he's supposed to be a werewolf hunter or whatever the fuck. And it's literally a brief scuffle. And I don't know if he's a werewolf hunter or somebody that's just prepared for the fight. I guess
I don't know, but I saw better fights in Superman 4, and that's
I
went there, man. Oh my god, that movie sucks, dude. Damn, that's one you should do.
Damn, I should throw that on the list. I need
yes,
to definitely
you need
throw
to.
That on the list.
Oh my god, that movie is such a train wreck. But that movie is increasingly more watchable than this is, because at least that is, like you say, so bad it's good in a way.
Yeah.
So many bad things that go on in that film that make absolutely no sense. But this movie is just like, here's Superman 4, bottom part of the rung, and then Howling 7 is like way the hell down here. Is it, you're like, oh, I didn't think we could go that low. Guess what? They went that low. They totally did.
They did. And so then the werewolf's defeated in one of the most anticlimactic fights ever, and Ted rides out of town on his motorcycle as mysteriously as he arrived. And it sucks.
And nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all.
No impact whatsoever.
Care.
No,
I didn't give a shit. Movie was over. I was thankful. I got to come on here and shit on this fucking movie. And I cannot express to you people how bad this fucking movie is. I usually tell you guys, go watch it for yourself. Be the judge. Don't watch this movie. Do not watch this movie at all. It has no... You just don't.
You know, and that's what I always say. I usually tell people, you know what? As bad as I'm dogging on the movie right now, go see it for yourself. Base your own opinion. But you know what? I think I'd rather spare people the hardship that is this movie, if at all possible. And there's so many there's so many different things that go through the film that make no sense whatsoever. Like the running joke about, oh, you're wearing Jacqueline's shirt. What was that all about? Did you catch that? It made no sense whatsoever. We never get any context on what they're talking about. As soon as they say it, the guy just kind of gets like, oh, shut up, and walks away, and that's it.
Yeah.
No context at all. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it, like I said, man, it's bad. The acting's bad. The cinematography's horrible. Oh. The music is fucking horrible. And I don't mind country music, but this is I've sighed so many times in this fucking podcast already. We've only been going for about 30 minutes. It's bad, people. It's bad.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on about this movie?
I think I've covered when you talk about all the different things that don't work. Okay, let me ask you, have you ever seen the TV series or the whatever you want to call it of The Stand that happened in the 90s?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar with that and maybe the way some of the music played out?
Yeah.
And what about Midnight Run?
Yes.
Some of the music that plays throughout this movie, I swear it felt like they were ripping it off from both films and putting it together. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was like...
It's like they I mean, and what they probably did was try to find the cheapest music that they could.
Probably.
And license it if they could. But like I said, for $250,000, I mean, and that's $250,000 90s money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's not bad. It's like, where'd the money go, for crying out loud, man?
It went on Ted's motorcycle and his shirts.
I guess so.
All that Western clothes that they needed for this. I mean, and if you think about it, if you sit there and you think and you pitch a movie, a werewolf or werewolves in a Western setting, that sounds fucking awesome. That sounds pretty fucking badass. Give me
Mhm.
a movie with cowboys versus fucking werewolves.
Actually,
This
when you describe it like that, that does sound interesting,
Yeah,
but that's not what we got here at
that's
all.
not what we got here. We got a You know what this felt like, man? This felt like a almost Jesus Christ. What were those after like an after school special? It was filmed
Oh, okay,
Dude, it
okay.
was filmed almost like an after school special soap opera mix that
That's
had some premise where there was monster dude, I don't know. One of the coolest soap operas I used to watch back in the day was Dark Shadows. I
oh, I've
used to
heard of
watch
it.
that on reruns. My mom used to watch that. Dude, Dark Shadows was awesome. I even liked the fucking movie that they did with
Johnny Depp and Eva
Johnny Depp. Yeah,
Green.
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed it. You know, granted it wasn't exactly like the old school soap opera because how are you going to do it like that if it's not a series in itself? I
Mm.
enjoyed the movie for what it was. And so there's things you can do for old, and I don't know, man. 90s was, I mean, early 90s especially wasn't such a great time for horror anyways,
No, it really wasn't.
but this movie should have never have been made at all. And like I said, I give them props for making a movie. It's always been a dream of mine to make a movie. I have tons of scripts that I've written. I just have
Really?
never, yeah, I've just never put them out there. I've shown them to a couple of people and they're like, "Hey, this is actually a really good idea." And it's things that nobody else is doing, you know? And so I give them props for making the movie. And like I said, I've been in a movie that I thought our segments were cool. It's an anthology series, but the movie as a whole was not a good movie. So that's why
No.
I say I've been in a shitty movie. I know what shitty movies are. And I did the same thing. I played myself in that movie.
Oh, nice.
And so there's, I guess the difference is that those people playing themselves had nothing to themselves, I guess. They had
No,
no
not really.
character to themselves. And I'm not saying I'm some awesome, NPC living around in this world, but goddamn, act a little bit.
Yes, some of them felt like there was one guy with the hat who every time he said anything, you look in his eyes, the way his mannerisms were, it's like he had no idea, like he was trying to think of what to do next.
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
see it in his eyes, like, okay, do I do this? Do I do this? Do I look over here? What am I?
But it
What the hell
wasn't
am I doing?
it wasn't just him though.
No, it wasn't.
Dude, do you remember the show Renegade?
I've heard of it, never watched it.
Okay. That's what this reminds me of, but like very, very shitty. I mean, and this show wasn't that great. It was not a great show.
No.
But that's what this movie reminded me of, just like a stupid long episode that was supposed to have a werewolf that did not ever show up. And just, I don't know, man. Episodes of Hercules with Kevin Sorbo were better than this fucking movie. And that show was not good if you go back and watch it now. I mean, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong. I like the
No,
show.
but I'd
But
rather watch Xena because Lucy Lawless.
yeah,
Oh my god, I still have a crush on that girl.
hell
She
yeah.
still looks good after all these years.
So let's go ahead and rate this piece of shit.
Oh.
So we do the cringeometer here. And the way we do the cringeometer is 1 is not that cringy. 10 is the cringiest shit you've ever seen. Psycho Nerd, give me a score.
It gets the cringiest, man, for real. This when I said before, this is one of the absolute worst films I've ever seen. I have probably in my lifetime seen thousands of movies, and this is probably no, there's no probably. This is in the top 10 worst things I've ever tried to sit through in my entire life. That's pretty bad. That's pretty damn bad.
So you're giving it a 10.
I'm giving it a 10. Yeah.
All
Totally.
right. And I too, as much as I hated this fucking movie, and as long as it took me to sit to finally finish this movie, because I too paused it. I too kept looking away and looking at my phone and then coming back and rewinding and going, did I miss anything? Oh, I didn't miss shit. I'm giving it a 10. If I could give it an 11, I would, and make this, the only 11 ever in this fucking show. But We only go to a 10, so this movie gets a 10 on the Cringeometer here on the Crypt of Cringe podcast, and I'm sure Mel would have given it a 10 as well. So
I think her the fact that she wasn't able to finish it at all. Let's go ahead and say she gave it a 10.
Yeah, she gave it a 10. I know she gave it a 10. I know she did. We've shit on this movie so much just driving in the car. In just the 30 minutes that she saw, we shit on this movie so much. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this movie gets a 10 on the Cringeometer for the Crypt of Cringe podcast. So I am going to announce what the next episode will be, and I will more than likely be joined by my lovely co-host. And if not, that means she gave birth before we could do the episode, and maybe we'll put the show on hold until she's ready to do it, but maybe not. Maybe I'll have another guest host on the Crypt of Cringe. But episode 5 of Crypt of Cringe will be The Room.
Oh, no! You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I've never seen this movie. The only thing I know about this movie is shit that I've seen on like Family Guy or memes. But this is supposed to be one of the worst movies ever made. So that is what the next episode of Crypt of Cringe will be. After that, we have House of the Dead. Then we have Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, you're killing me.
And
you're killing me here.
Season finale is one of those movies that is so bad it's good, featuring duck titties. Howard the Duck.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And that's so I wanted to end, I wanted to end on a high note for the season. And then season 2, we got some fan interaction and they asked us to review some movies on here. And so I took their suggestions. So we will do a movie called Repossessed, which I have never seen.
Never heard of it.
We are doing Fantastic Four, the 2015 version.
Ooh.
We are doing the Last Airbender movie.
Oh.
We are doing Amityville 3D.
Never seen it.
It's horrible. I watched
not yet.
I watched it for Gore and More, and God damn it, I'm so pissed I have to watch it again. We are reviewing Steel.
Oh my God.
Which had the premise of being one of the coolest Superman spin-off movies, and it just didn't even have Superman in it.
Just go read the comic books. They're better.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Then to keep up with that shitty superhero continuation, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, I've heard that is a train wreck. I hear it's a train wreck to the nth degree.
And then we will move on to the Crow remake, which I watched when it came out, and holy fuck, that movie is so bad. So bad. I'll probably watch the first one first and then watch the shitty remake after, just so I can shit on it even more. And then we're going to end on a high note with one of Paul Rudd's favorite movies, Mac and Me.
Oh, never seen it.
And that will be the season finale for season 2. Season 3, I only have one movie on there so far for season 3, and that is movie 43.
Oh, I've heard about it.
I enjoy that movie. It's a bad fucking movie, but I enjoy it. So we'll see what Mel has to say when we get to season 3. But Psycho Nerd, do you want to shout out your podcast, your socials, whatever you want to say to our 2 listeners? Go for it.
Sure. You can find me on YouTube. That's the only platform I'm currently on, but I'm looking to change that in the future. You could just type in the Psycho Nerd podcast, so you can find my currently 10 episodes that I've done so far. And then you can also go find the podcast on my YouTube channel, which is the Repeat Movie Viewer. Haven't done any movie reviews in a while, but I'm getting back in the mix. It's been a little while, but I'll get back into it. It's all good. And I appreciate
catch them on the Real Movie Critics.
This is true over on my brother's podcast, The Real Movie Critics, along with Mr. Lord Scubacabra over here.
Yeah.
And I appreciate being invited on here. I really do. This has been fun. If you want me for anything else in the future, I am so there. As long as our schedules, keep up. I'm totally down for anything you do. Just let me know.
Sounds good, brother. All right. And as always, I am Lord Scubacabra, your gracious host. Thank you for tuning in, Cringeaholics. Till next time, watch those movies and stay cringy, my friends.